Hello, and welcome to the last lecture of this week, where we will talk about how organizations actually implement their strategies using information systems. So, just to recap, again, an organization is a formal collection of people and other resources established to accomplish a set of goals, and these goals are usually influenced by the structure of the organization, their culture, and their ability to change. So in this lecture, we will talk about their ability to change from an information system standpoint. So we are dealing with procuring them and implementing them inside the organization. IT spending varies by industry. For example, banking and finance spend almost 7% of their revenue allocated to this component of value chain. Building online financial services is an enormously expensive proposition. Another benchmark useful for information systems is the amount spent per employee. On average, organizations spend over $13,000 per employee, including all hardware, software, salaries for IT personnel, software licensing, data center costs, telecommunications costs, and outsourced IT projects. IT spending also varies by region of the world. For example, companies in Asia spend almost 70% more per employee compared to those in Latin America and the Caribbean, and much of the additional expense goes to capital investment in infrastructure. Managers can use these benchmarks to assess components in the extended value chain and examine how every dollar they spend is helping to create value. Each component offers opportunities for either cost savings or improved products and services that offer more value to buyers, which can improve the company's competitiveness and bottom line. So there are different phases, or in this case, stages in the business use of information systems. And in the first stage, organizations are focused on reducing costs and improving productivity. So this defines the decision whether to automate repetitive so this defines the decision whether to automate repetitive processes, choosing between owning the IT infrastructure or on-premise or having someone maintain it in the cloud, or any initiative that ensures continuous delivery at a lower cost or increased productivity. So in this case, the use of information systems is to keep the lights on or to keep the business running. The second phase or stage was defined by Porter and others. It was oriented toward gaining a competitive advantage. In many cases, companies spent large amounts on information systems and downplayed the costs. These information systems are used to create new engaging customer channels like software applications or devices, which they may tap as new data source for the Internet of Things and social media. For example, Under Armour has actually acquired different software applications like MapMyRun or MyFitnessPal so that users can actually input these information from these apps and they will use it to offer new products and services to them. In these cases, information systems are used to explore and to experiment. Today, companies are shifting from strategic management to performance based management. In this third stage, companies carefully consider both strategic advantage and costs. They use productivity, return on investment, present value, and other measures of performance to evaluate the contributions their information systems make. This balanced approach attempts to reduce costs and increase revenues. Now, to be effective, re engineering and continuous improvement efforts must result in satisfied users and be accepted and used throughout the organization. Over the years, IS researchers have studied user satisfaction and technology acceptance as they relate to IS attitudes and usage. Although user satisfaction and technology acceptance started as two separate theories, some believe that they are related concepts. User satisfaction with a computer system and the information it generates often depend on the quality of the system and the value of the information it delivers to users. A quality information system is actually or usually flexible, efficient, accessible, and timely. Recall that quality information is accurate, reliable, current, complete, and delivered in the proper format. The technology acceptance model, which is originally boxed in this framework, specifies the factors that can lead to better attitudes about the information system, along with higher acceptance and usage of the system in an organization. These factors include the perceived usefulness of the technology, the ease of its use, the quality of the information system, and the degree to which the organization supports its use. You can determine the actual usage of an information system by the amount of technology diffusion and infusion. Technology diffusion is a measure of how widely technology is spread throughout an organization. An organization in which computers and information systems are located in most departments and areas has a high level of technology diffusion. Some online merchants, such as Amazon.com, have a high diffusion and use of computer systems to perform most of their business functions, including marketing, purchasing, and billing. Technology infusion, on the other hand, is the extent to which technology permeates an area or department. In other words, it is a measure of how deeply embedded technology is in an area of the organization. Some architectural firms, for example, use computers in all aspects of designing a building, from drafting to final blueprints. The design area thus has a high level of infusion. Of course, a firm can have a high level of infusion in one part of its operations and low level diffusion overall. The architectural firm might use computers in all aspects of design, which is high infusion in the design area, but not to perform other business functions, including billing, purchasing, and marketing, which is low diffusion. Diffusion and infusion often depend on the technology available now and in the future, the size and the type of the organization, and the environmental factors that include the competition, government regulations, suppliers, and so on. This is often called the technology, organization, and environment framework. Now, in implementing these technologies in an organization, Nicholas Carr, former editor of Harvard Business Review, poses a thought provoking question: does IT matter? And he has actually succeeded it with another article which says IT doesn't matter. His point is that IT resources have become so commonplace that their strategic importance has diminished and they have become an infrastructure commodity. The benchmarks discussed earlier show that organizations are looking closely at how they spend their IT dollars, not just at total amounts. The funds used to run the business are mainly for the kinds of IT resources that now fall into the commodity category. Strategies to reduce those costs are critical, and because price competition for commodities is fierce, opportunities for savings abound. In contrast, the funds and human effort applied to growing and transforming an organization are much more closely tied to strategy, innovation, and competitive advantage. Although many technologies are indeed commodities, the ability to extract their value requires human imagination, opportunities to do that are limitless. Whatever your role in the organization, the distinction between the different roles IT plays is very important to grasp since it affects how you allocate resources and judge the value of new initiatives. With that, I would like to close week 2. I will see you on week 3 where we will now discuss about the technology side of information systems. Thank you for listening and have a great day.